People, deluded, I'm back again. You lot have made me really conscious of saying people as well, man. Like, you lot, it's all banter, but cracking on. Now, it's been a long day. Those of you that follow me on Snapchat, you know it's been a long day for myself. I mean, just getting to work was a nightmare. But Arsenal Fan TV uploaded the vid. Obviously, shout out to Turkish and the rest of the gang for having me and always welcoming me with opening arms and things. There's never been any issue in them regards there. Obviously, they done me, first and foremost, they done me dirty with the timing of uploading the vid, because the vid was done before the games against United and Spurs, people, and actually after Rennes and all of them games that we've been playing in the last weeks or 2 weeks or so. It was before Spurs. I gave him a 5. Now, a lot of people, get me, obviously I get a lot of love when I go on Arsenal Fan TV. Obviously, you get a lot of hate. Again, ironically, stay with it, people, this word I'm saying, balance. People praise me. For every comment I get where, oh, you're not so deluded, why do you call yourself that? There's always prats going, oh, you really live up to your name, or this, or you talk fast, or you're this and you that. We take the rough with the smooth. I give him a 5 at the time. Admittedly, people, 5 might be harsh, so I might give it a 6. In fact, I actually initially thought then a 7, and I think it now off the back of these games. But by my own logic, it could remain at a 5. And here's why. It's a season of transition, people. It is a season where I can't speak for nobody else, people, but it's a season of transition, yeah? The players are special in the sense that individual mistakes, not being able to concentrate for the season, people. Obviously, in periods we've shown it, 22 games unbeaten. When we were getting the rub of the green in some of them games, in the sense that when you're playing through form, everything goes right. The last 2 games against Spurs and United, they've been good, and against Rennes' second leg, they turned it around, people. But on the whole, have we been there defensively or where we need to be? Not just defensively, but in all aspects of the club? No, because it's a season of transition. And for as much as I praise Gooner and his tactical genius, it's a season of trying. It's a season of trial and error. His hand's been forced through injury and through all of these things, and through some things he can't control, like other teams messing about. He's found himself in the top 4, but we've also been out of it. So I praise him for his tactics, but at the same time, his tactics have messed us up at times, people. For me, if you're putting the blame with anyone, it's the players, because the players have played well as well, but they've also let us down more than Gooner and time and time again. So it's a season of balance. For every time Gooner and played mad tactics and turned games around, we have to look at everybody objectively. So he's still the manager I believe in. He's worked a miracle of recent, obviously with the injuries and things like that. But this just shows for me, people, balance, because when we was on the 22 game unbeaten, you look at the Fulham game, we turn it around in the second half. Everyone looks at the headlines 5-1, and it was a fantastic turnaround, and there was fight. But we're papering through cracks. How many times people like to get excited and things, people? How many times did we look at these games and we was like, we didn't turn around in the first half? Don't get me wrong. Many of them games we were fantastic, people. I just believe in adding it all up and critiquing game by game basis. Obviously, with the games against Rennes and all the turnaround in the last couple of weeks and the form we've hit, me saying 5 looks incredibly harsh, and to a degree it probably is. I call it harsh but fair, someone put in the comments. Prior to that though, look at the last 7 before that when the video was actually shot. And again, remember what I said about praising him about the unbeaten run, and I've got it here, people. Obviously, you know I stay with my receipts, people. Before the Barté defeat, it wasn't good. We lost 3-1 to United, sadly. A shaky victory. Again, this is not me being pessimistic. Let's call a spade a spade. We beat Cardiff, we got through it, but any of you that remember that game, you know we got through that game and it was bookie, people. You know yourselves. Obviously, fantastic result against Chelsea, and I made reference to that video against Chelsea. That's one thing I wanted to see more with Emery, when he sets out like Spurs and like against Chelsea. Obviously, can't do that all the time, and again, people, I praise that he can manipulate tactics, but I do feel, especially in smaller games, that we're not necessarily, or wasn't at the time, on the front foot, people. And as much as I praise him in big games, sometimes we thought too much about the opposition. So what he did against United and Spurs, where he married them all, that's what I was talking about in that vid. Shaky victory, let's call a spade a spade. Manchester City, the players let Gooner Emery down. The tactics for me were they let him down. Fair play. Either way, as a team, we win, lose and draw together. We lost that. The Huddersfield Town game as well, people. I'm sure I'm forgetting West Ham as well, the defeat to West Ham, where I feel the midfield let us down. But the Aubameyang as well weren't at it. But again, the tactics. And now, people, when you also remember games like Palace, where we was doing all right, the players let us down, but also Gooner Emery substitutions. The game against Wolves, where it was just the players for me, they weren't at it. and a defeat against Brighton, which was more the players, but you could see gaps in how we was going about it. All I'm calling for is balance, people. Now we're going on a mad run. What? We turned it around. Obviously, we lost to Rennes, but we turned it around. 2 big games. Well, 4 points off Spurs and United. It should have been 6. We've been all right, but this is what I'm talking about. Football fans. We get excited. We talk in stages. When it was 22 games, me myself included, we were gassing it. When we was going through a wobble, we were gassing it. Look at the mixed results, people. We had a kind of a booky little run prior to that. And people, if you also look at, I've looked at random stages of the season. Where have we got now? Make sure I don't lose everything. Where's the other one as well? Make sure I don't lose my receipts. Where's the other one? This is jarring. I've obviously lost the other one, but I'll find it in a sec, people. But also, you just got to look at the period, the period of the 28th of October to the 2nd of December. 10 games, we had 5 draws or so, or something like that. Again, you look at the period, just around that as well, people. I really need to find the notes to make more sense of this. There's that. I've got so much damn papers on this piece of thing, man. Where are they, man? That was that already. See, people, I can't even. Oh, here we go. Apologies, people. So what I'm getting at is, if all you got to do is go and look at it yourself, people. Go and look at the table yourselves. There's been periods where we've don't get me right, and what I'm praising Unai Emery for and the players, I believe in looking at it fairly, where we've won games, we've done our thing. There's been periods where we've lost games where we shouldn't have. Look at the period of the 8th of December to the 29th, 3 wins, 3 L's and 1 draw, people. The next 5 after that, we had 2 defeats, 3 wins. Obviously, we had the Cardiff and the City results sandwiched in between, and then we obviously lost the debate, and you saw the turning point. So you can go and look at the table yourselves, people. Not the table, either the form guide or the fixture list. There's been periods where we've been great, people. Periods where we've been shaky. Periods where we've played our way through form. And that happens for every team. Right now, we picked up form at the best point of the season. The season, if you lot followed me from this December and beyond that in August, the season, the point that matters, the bit of the season where we need to do our thing. And even more important is that you're seeing Chelsea right now, they're messing around. United are doing their thing, but Chelsea are that. Spurs are ahead of everyone. I still think Spurs will get top 4. Hope to be wrong, people. But their form's been a bit shaky. So we've picked up form at a great time. But prior to the Barty game and before that, nobody was saying 8s and 9s for Unai Emery. I praise Unai Emery because he's worked a miracle. Now he's worked a miracle. He's had injuries. I just believe in looking at it fairly, people. I side with Unai Emery because he is the man. I have been convinced with him. Like, he has done a lot for me in this season, and he's done a lot of positives, but I believe in looking at a man fairly. There's been times I've been bewildered by his decisions. There's been times the players, don't get me wrong, bad games happen and you need to fight. Sometimes bad games happen, and it's good when a team can just fight and get through that, and we did that a lot. But by the same token, how many times have we actually been sloppy, people? So obviously people will see this vid where I said 5, and in fact a lot of people agree with my comments, but people will see the 5 and go, oh, you look, I can't speak for anyone. One love to the lovers that love, man. If you don't like me, pardon my language, suck your mum. Like that, it's that simple. But you lot know me, that rock with me. I don't just say things for clout, or no, I don't care about that stuff. Like, I am saying my legit opinion. So with what I've said, people, if you look at the table from August until now, with the great periods that's happened, the shaky periods, and now coming into form at the right time, will you be? Is it wrong to necessarily say back then it was a 5? No, it's not. You could say it's OTT. Admittedly, it might be. So I'll say a 6. He's worked a lot, and to still be mathematically still in the shout with the top 6 now, it's a 7 for me, people. And as much as I don't think it will happen, don't want it to happen, we need to keep balance, because as much as I'm praising and I'm saying it's a 7, hell, it might even be an 8. We could lose 4 or 5 games on the spin. That's not me being pessimistic. That's just me giving you all scenarios. Mathematically, Chelsea have messed around, messed up, cocked up their 2 games in hand. Mathematically, they can still get top 4, and everyone will paint such a great season it's been, and all of these things. If we were to, again, people, don't think I'm being pessimistic and thinking we're going to do this. I'm optimistic as hell on Unai Emery. But if we go and lose 3, draw 1, win 2, and do whatever in our last 5, do you see what I'm saying? It's a transition transitional period. So for me, a 5 wasn't a bad result, and still to a degree, when I question the logic I've said throughout this whole vid, it's still not the worst result, because there's been good periods, there's been bad periods, there's been shaky periods. So with that being said, can I not be in wait and see mode? Can't I conclude that Unai Emery has worked a madness for us? He is the man. I believe in him. He has come through some testing periods. Sometimes he's been wrong, and you have to hold your hands up. But the majority of the time, he has been right for us. And especially with the games being said, can I not consider that? Consider the fact that there are certain aspects we need to see more of, certain aspects that are not quite there yet, and could give a man a 5. For me, a 50% rating at this time, if I was the manager, I'll bite your head off, because it's a transitional period. A lot of these players, just quite frankly, aren't good enough, and like him, I wouldn't know what to do with a lot of these, man. But what is wrong with getting 50%? Again, people will see average and these mad words that I hate in football. You've seen me make a video saying what's wrong with the word average or the player average. I can't remember the title. For me, that is calm. Obviously, when you consider the last results that have happened for me, and away from the results and stuff, because again, we're playing our way through form, just the intent from the players and the intent from the get-go, marrying the defensive aspects and thinking about certain things and going forward. Because people, I've been calling for, I said in that vid, man, want to see a diamond. I think our midfielders, regardless of the formation, I think our midfielders look more comfortable in a 3. That's just me. I'm all for the pivot and things. I just think there's this mental handbrake that comes off when you see Torreira. Obviously, they're not in the same position, but when Torreira, Xhaka, Guendouzi, for example, whoever, Ozil, they're all on the field together. They think to themselves, I can be a bit more free because we've got a bit more players back. Now, how much sense does that make? It's Arsenal, but everybody just saw 5 and 4, this and that. I don't speak. I genuinely love my club, in it. So I say what I feel. I have been supporting this club for as long as I can remember football, and I've been following Unai Emery since the start of the season, and I believe in him. I don't think there can be anyone that's Unai Emery out or asks pessimistic questions really of him. I just believe I am Unai Emery, and I love the guy, but just looking at several things. Again, he does need his own players. He does need his own thing. But all the people that some people were questioning him when he signed for this club, then they started praising him, then they started asking questions. Will they still stand by him if he goes 4 or 5 games drawing and losing, and what if we wobble? Because on paper right now it's a great thing to be an Arsenal fan. We're seeing Chelsea lose games. Obviously, banter aside, we're seeing certain things happen. Spurs have, banter aside again, Spurs have obviously dropped some points, and it's looking meaty. It's looking good for the neutral. It's the top 4, even 3rd place with Spurs now. It's looking like a good little battle. So mathematically, we're in there. So for me, with all of that being said, Unai Emery gets a 7 because he's doing his thing. Obviously, with the last couple of results that have been happening, the only result that matters is the end of the season. There's been some 10 out of 10 moments collectively with the players and Unai. Notice, people, I do not pinpoint blame specifically at anyone unless I see fit. We win together, we lose together, we draw together. Unai Emery should be the first to get praised when we win or lose, because I don't think the players, I think when the players are playing well, so the players, when it's the other way, it's questions of the manager. And I think the players, you don't know, I was a big fan of Mustafi. I'm not a big fan of Mustafi right now, for example. And we ain't got no top 6 games now left, but if he plays a blinder against Newcastle, I'll say Mustafi played great. If he returns back to his old antics the game after that, you see what I'm saying, people? If Unai Emery shows me certain things to praise, which he has done, I'm his biggest fan. How much vids have I been making, people? So it's nonsense. Really and truly, to a degree. Even me, I'm sitting here and consistently saying big games. For me, Unai Emery, the best things I've seen away from anything is how we've improved set pieces offensively and defensively. It's funny how a lot of these things I'm saying in them vids there, when people are saying I'm deluded and these things, this is why I laugh, people. They're missing out these points. And really, when people are calling me these things, they're not actually disagreeing. They're just little virgins, really and truly. And this is all I wanted to say, people. All I wanted to say. And if you're honest with yourself, it's not a season where you can really be on any side. For me, a 5 out of 10 at the time was, okay, we're doing very well, in my opinion. With everything I've said to praise Unai Emery, this is with this in mind. But yeah, man, there's more to see. I think there's more potential and things. Again, I'm not saying he's not getting the best out of players. I'm not saying he's not overachieving to a degree. But the only results that matters is in May, people. Do you see what I'm saying? Obviously, it looks a bit mad when the game's gone on and things like, well, the football's moved on and things. And again, Arsenal Fan TV, but so you man did a guy dirty with bringing it out that late. But what can I say, man? It's all love. But like, this is all I wanted to say, people. Like, people just saw a 5 and 4 incredibly harsh. People, this is what really gets me about human beings in general. People don't actually listen to things, and I ignore a lot. Like, come on, people. I mean, come on. Do you know the amount of stuff I see between Alex Hunter, Martial, and Mbappe? I don't mind Errol Spence, to be fair. All of these mad things, people, and Golo Kante. Obviously, a lot of it's banter. Some of it's just hate. I rarely rise to anything. I rarely explain myself to people because this is my opinion. I make videos for the people that understand where I'm coming from, and I'm not even saying I'm right. I just don't like when man are not listening to what I'm actually saying and saying mad things like. Someone said on one of the comments, I don't react to the comments, but I was on the Arsenal Fan TV comments, and someone said, you said something I don't remember, people, it was mad, but something about, oh, you think we've got the best squad depth. Where the hell did I say that? Where did I say that? Someone called me Wenger apologist. It's no fan that I love Arsene Wenger, but I was one of the first people saying, Wenger, you need to come out of the club now. I love you, granddad. You gave me some memories, especially because I'm born in 95, giving me a lot of memories. You've taken this club above, it's a fact, but you need to come out of the club. I mean, I know some people are just stupid, and so I'm not even speaking for hate and illogical nonsense. I'm just speaking for people that I know most people genuinely got what I had to say, and whether they agreed or disagreed, and that's fine. It's not a dictatorship. I just want people to, if you're gonna critique my opinion or whatever, talk on what I'm saying, because I'm not giving him a 5 because I'm anti Unai Emery, which I'm not. I gave him a 5 at the time is because I think we've been good, but it's not a season for me to get gassed and pretend. This is the thing with fans in general. When we was 22 unbeaten, people were talking nonsense. We went through a wobble. It's all doom and gloom. Right now, as Arsenal fans, it's great because we're doing well and we're fighting, and we got cheated against Spurs, but 4 points against the top 6 in the last 2 games we had of them to keep our top 4 race alive, showing we've got heart and desire, hitting form at the right time. But things, and obviously amplified with other teams' misfortunes, but again, things change quickly, and that, again, for idiots, this is not me saying it's going to happen, this is me, balanced head, keep a balance, people. I want Unai Emery to be, for me, you need him to be given it. He's shown enough to show, whether you agree or disagree, that when he gets his own men or his own players, and I do think he has to work with some that he has because in-house coaching was a thing, he can do a thing, people. He can work with what he's got. There's a system of play, and I've seen that. I still think we can come a long way, but things like the diamond, away from the diamond, but just the intent, the marriage in the 2 aspects of football together, they're good things, people. Like, again, the main point is for me, remember the timeline of the vid, but just listen, people. Like, just I don't speak for anyone. I know football fans are in general illogical, and with the internet and things like that, people can tweak and just move mad. But like, just once in a while, just stop and listen and think, man. And I saw a lot. Don't get it twisted. The majority of the comments were praising me. Some people even in my DMs on Instagram and things like that saying, oh, you was great on Arsenal Fan TV. A bit harsh on the 5, but cool, I see where you was coming from. And then I explained to them what I'm explaining in this vid, and they're like, all right, cool. Again, you lot know I'm a footballing man. I'm bringing out, don't get me wrong, I have to do a separate vid. Big up my 7K subscribers, but I don't earn a living from this. I don't get, like, you see what I'm saying? I talk about football, come and love this stuff. You lot know me. How much time have I make vids and all leap a night bringing out vids? I love football. I love to talk about it. I definitely love my football club. And I want the manager who is taking over the hardest task of the thing to do his thing, people. So don't get it twisted. Like, again, just stick to what I'm actually saying. That's it for me, guys. I'm big on miscommunication, and I think there's a lot of fake outrage in football, and to be honest, today I kind of see it, man. Like, I was sitting there laughing, like, I can't take these things seriously. Like, big men are there hating and talking nonsense, but I'm not even, don't get it twisted, people. I'm not getting really any hate. There's a lot of love in the comments on Arsenal Fan TV. A lot of new subscribers are thrown my way, and them things there, man. But this is just for the majority, well, the majority who might not necessarily saw the point I was coming from or understand the context of the video or just needed some more enlightenment. This ain't for the minority that just talk nonsense. But I'm here for 20 minutes. I was meant to be out here in 5. But that's all I'm saying, people. Just balance. Right now, everything is great. Before, it was all doom and gloom. It's just a balanced head, people. Football, how many times in a season? There's almost 3 seasons. You that have been rocking with me since the minute I started this YouTube video. What did I say when you start a season? August until December. You think about December. Once you get out to December, you focus on this period, getting out of the late last year, early this year, December to let's say now March, this sort of period, which I've said, you get to this period still in the pack, which we're doing. Big up Unai Emery, it's not our fault that Chelsea and these other teams had misfortune, or United at the beginning of the season. Same way, it's not their fault we've dropped points, but we're in and amongst the pack. And now is the final furlong from March until May. It doesn't matter how you do it. Get the games done, get them won, because on paper, yeah, we've got more favourable games than the other top 6 rivals. But Leicester away is not going to be easy. Resurgence under Rodgers. Wolves, they showed us at home, and they've shown it against just about any top team they've played. They're on this. Everton, Chelsea gave us a warning. Now back us against Everton. Hopefully we do our job. But these games, I'm not going to sit here and say I can remember the other away games, people. But if I could continue naming them with the emotion I was talking with right there, it would have been good, innit? But nah, man, on the reals, people. That's all I'm saying, man. Obviously, even when you factor in when we lost the bait, it was all doom and gloom. Turned it around against Rennes. Our season was in the balance and we did our thing. Please just remember the context, and please just remember that I don't say things for nonsense, people. But love for those that wanted to hear a guy out, man. And yeah, man, I can't believe I'm making this video at this time of night, but I'm out.